Earlier, tell una say we dey get updates from the Sierra Leone police as then they do investigation on different drug-related matter them wey be happen sometime back na the country. On the line now we get ASP Bobson Senu Kamara, wey na the deputy head of media from the Salon Police. Good morning, ASP, and welcome to the Liberty Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
All right, as I don't tell we viewers and listeners then this morning, we want to get update from the Sierra Leone police as people will be aware during the last government press briefing outside the Inspector General of Police bingo and updates people them, but the investigation where he said they don't mount on the drug fugitive from the Netherlands, where the Netherlands government they allege say it in a salon. The Salon Police will do some investigation. Start for brief for listeners the exactly usauna they on these investigations.
Well, that investigations been undergone, and since now joint investigation, I get for do with diplomatic related things. So it's been handled by the Minister of Foreign and International Cooperations as well. So that one is also ongoing. And what it requires the police for do as and when they need the police, we can intervene into some of those issues that warrant the police to do. No, but the bulk of the thing is being done by the foreign affairs.
ASP, anybody where you read this update this morning go say this not a new twist, I beg your pardon, because according to the Inspector General of Police, it be accept say yes, this drug fugitive, then Sabian for Umar Sheriff, and now the police they lead the investigation. When exactly una hand over this investigation to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, headed by the Minister Timothy Kaba?
Well, at the investigation, not to events where it start today and end tomorrow. Now a gradual process, and it require international cooperations, and therefore it take a time to ensure that all what we need for do and really ascertain the facts that this informations go come up with, because it's joint. When they do talk about joint investigation, we get a central, vocal presence to inform us and when the investigations don't go.
Okay, welcome back. You still the watch we are on YouTube and on Facebook, and of course I've been promised to say after the Congress program we will bring on the progressive. Remember, then there's we don't host them, and this now one set of group where actually the stand for the people of Sierra Leone against anything we can call bad governance, anything we can call human rights violation, anything we then call something where not in the interest of the public now him then the stand against and remember say right now inside the country a lot of laws them where they actually try for quiet a lot of people, but you get some people that will say it no matter what you do to we, it no matter how you put we, it no matter what kind of laws where you put, we get one thing we left. That's that we right. And that right itself we get. Elect if you want for take them and do something else with them. Not all man go be quiet at the same time. So then choose for come up and say we go stand and we go continue for stand for the people of Salon. We don't talk and say we get a voice. Well, sometimes the noise what they cause now because we see not oversee. You get some way they cause the noise, but then they inside the country and then they make sure say they do as best as possible. So right now, then they're ready for come and talk to the world through this platform and other platform them we actually don't join we right now. Of course, you get the T and the then and now media empire. You as well get the redemption and we don't join for make sure say you get this. So any outside you there, feel free for put down your concern and then we go take them, put them to them, make the address them for we. So for let them sit down and talk. No means say the idol. Yes, everybody very much important and get very much important things they for do. But your young contribution inside this one very much important. Now for you, then they do them. Remember how some of them, you turn and come so back. They not get for work for government. They not they expect for get position, And just like we self, not they look forward for that. So when we do this, now for make sure say you support we at all your best. Yeah. So right now they hand over the microphone to the person where they take the lead, and then we go to come inside 110 for make sure say we actually take the program outside is supposed to be. Enough is enough. Sierra Leonean them don't ready for stand up and speak louder than how them be used for speak. So if that be the case, I hand over to Winston Ojuku to Macaulay for make it actually take the sheep for we, and then the rest of the people them go actually help them for go time shuffle. I rest there for now. Mina Sembepe, the freedom fighter.
Thank you very much, Sembepia. Are you to get me loud and clear?
Very clear, sir. Very clear.
And Gladdy for the small talk. And first of all, let me say thank you to you and all the other social media platforms them we don't open up for we this morning. As you rightly say, my name is Winston Ojuku Macaulay Jr., one of the members of the Progressives, and I talk to now from London. But the thing is that every day, every Sierra Leonean, whether you day saloon, whether you day out, as long as you're a Sierra Leonean, we all the pay, we continue for pay a heavy price for every aspect of our lives because of the current situation in the country. However, as we know, this is now fast month, and also we celebrate Easter very soon. So let me extend warm greetings to everybody observing this reflection and renewal season. We continue for hold dear the values of compassion, unity, and gratitude that both tradition inspire from where we all know within a religion. In conversations right across Freetown and in many other parts of Sierra Leone where we do regularly, one conclusion that we don't establish, in fact, we give back to one of the reasons why we come together, is that the Mother Bio in record has been painfully disastrous for every Sierra Leonean, whether you are in or out of the country. Now, this make on the 24th of June 2023, beaucoup people them in Komot, majority of the one that will go vote, then vote as to register their protest for the removal of the SLPP power government. Between 2018 and 2023, Mother Bio in government we've been there from 2018 proved to the whole world that they were more immorally unfit for the highest office, which requires holders therefore put the interests of Sierra Leone first. As we all know, that has never happened from the day when they came power. The Sierra Leone when we grew up with today, now a country where we go describe as a factory of fear. Because for even talk about anything other than for support or praise this government, you'll be in trouble. So that is why the progressives, after the election, we decide, say, we for team up, because a lot of people don't afraid for talk. We get a group of people that will go talk, but they're not going to talk the right things. We get some people who will go praise, and then they deny, say, anything don't go wrong necessarily. So because of that, not of us saying idle, or na lazy, or na because we're there overseas, or we're not getting nothing for do, or we're naive, make we come together and present the progressives to sound the voice of Sierra Leone. So today, as we begin this battle, inside this ship where Shengepi don't talk, we want to remind the world that people in there, in and out of Sierra Leone, will get voice and ready for voice their concerns for the victory of Sierra Leone's democracy. With that, I will ask we all were there today before we begin the program officially in our own different religion. Lord, remember God for 1 minute. Right. Over 1 minute. Amen. So we go now call on Madam Susan De, which we. Madam Susan De, which we. Okay, so in that case, since Madam Susan De, which we will call Mr. James.
Susan is with us.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Can you briefly just I don't know if we get any of the people that were the victims for this the protests will be called for the protest for release of the election, the result. If none of them not there, you could just talk briefly and introduce Mr. James Cisse. Yes, go ahead, man. You want to say something? You know, audio no.
Hello.
Yeah.
Right. We'd expect Mr. Aruna
Okay.
at his location for introducing himself when he's called upon to do so.
They with we?
Actually, they with we right now.
Okay.
So please unmute your mic. I ask you for do that now, please. Watch your screen and unmute your mic. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Aruna, you get just under 3 minutes for talk small bit about how you go to your experience on the day where they arrest you, sir.
First of all, I want to tell everybody good afternoon. Na God Gishadi, the 10th of December will be organized protests where na concerned citizen, where we all belong this side for come stand against the dictatorship of the President Madabio, where that faithful body day where at the left na me us against 7 picking them. The first girl picking for graduates the 19th December. We are ready for left na me us with determination, because what we get now this country, even anybody we actually believe in democracy, we believe say God they exist, you know, go to map aside, they watch things like this they happen, we you know go take a role. So that faithful morning they I call me picking the all, including my wife. I get 7 girl picking, I get 6 girl picking with 1 boy picking. I mean 2 boy picking. I call them, I tell them, I say now, I know they go for now, no more. I say I do go for my country. I say, and these protests, I don't pray all night for ask the Almighty, for let it will guide me and give me the mind to go stand against this particular evil man. We feel say he can do anything. I say I don't care if you wanna see me. I say when I tell the Almighty Allah thank you. I say if you wanna see me again, I say well that's what God see. I say but I go. So I been get man the way we don't organize. I shut at give to them all for Canada. Well, I been see some waste time. I left on the load dance as well. I take bike. I rush for Canada. So I miss man and get around. They don't get mine come out. No me come for can urge them. I urge them. I say wait with the wait. I say this now the right time this for come out for go ask for the results. I say because we don't get information say result no day. I say how we go conduct election. They say we don't conduct election. Don't election we not get results. Don't wisdom like I say this man we don't all they feel say in a semi-god where some people in the worship becoming they worship him. I don't know one no self runner in. Because anybody will not stand for the right of any for we as grassroots in this country to go that person they be there against them. So for that, as I come, let me move the protest. And I do them with all my heart. So I come, I organize them, we all move, we come up. when we come up, I've been going with two determination. Either I for die or I for succeed, which I go for. That's what I go for. So when I go up, we all come up. I call the man, we come. We come by the cotton tree. So we start the protest and ask Mr. Kone for results. When we say, where we don't vote, where we will not see no results. Where everybody don't ask for results. Today we will not get results. So the first policeman they will meet, they tell me, say, Lord, we stop us out there, Lord, we don't go before. That's a lot of problem. As long as we don't give a chance for come team up there until we wait for the Kone Kamleka address we, the election we conduct, we will not see results to today. So that's we come for. So we did there, we team up for the protests. We see bodyguards then come out from upstate house, then come with gun. That moment where I see the gun, now me one know how I feel. I say, well, now one shot for me, I for die. I say, but waiting for me if for be that day. With me company them where we team up because now we 8 in number actually. We be all be team up at that day. We after Boko come up, but we get the man for stand up.
You get 2 more minutes and now for just explain now how they arrest you, how you spend that please.
So from there, they arrest me, then can we go na CID, then go interrogate me, then go ask if anyone probably be get any rights, any rights in them for the documents where be they pass around for concerned citizen. So that means that the only person when the signature be needed and my name be needed. I answer because what answer? I say yes, my name needed. I say my name needed. So then take me up to the CID, to the head of CID. He go ask me because as they go up, one policeman come to me say, "Oh, they go plan or say assign or write my name." Now look and I say, "You don't know the examination work out it." So as I claim up, as the head of CID asked me now, I say yes, me na number 1 person we register. I say, me then check that particular document, the day, my name day. And indeed, when they check the my name day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
What they be plan for implicate Mr. Walidem. So maybe say we don't get the information. But that's make me say take that venture day. So
thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We fumble them. We bring Mr. Auna for make people understand. See, not to all man afraid for talk na salon. And if you go back to the history of Sierra Leone, from 67, 77, 1992, 1996, 1989, and 2001, Sierra Leoneans have been team up when they've been confronted with bully, intimidation, etc., etc. So when we come out for talk, not of us say people are not there in a salon, we afraid for talk. So we say thank you to you, sir, and I hope say we will continue the fighting spirit for restore democracy and electoral justice in Sierra Leone. With that said, I will call on Lawyer Cisse. You get 5 minutes, sir, for put your case through and the battle where you self go through for deal with, for help the people like Mr. Aruna, Mr. Wadi, and of course Mr. Babadi. I don't know if Mr. Babadi there with we Naya today, but Lawyer Cisse, James Cisse, because my good friend Imram Tik is enough for say Lawyer Cisse. So Mr. James Cisse, I go welcome you, sir, for make you tell me in 5 minutes, sir, what you go through for make them people here today able they free self for talk to me. You're welcome, sir.
Most grateful, very grateful. And I tell now all I do again, in the name of democracy and development. Thank you all we wish me speedy recovery as I am still in, but I'm hoping the worst is behind me now. Okay, I get permission for talk by English or Creole, which one?
Anyway you choose, sir.
Brilliant. Okay, brilliant. Okay, now they come into this forum. Now it's a special blessing, in fact, for I get the opportunity for that. I know if it's a good day, but I come in with a legal view of the situation at Salon. Like I think in your introductory remarks, Mr. Winston made it clear that this is, I think, the first time we don't see Salon look like how I look today. For both we were there and the one they were now in the diaspora, because the pain now we all this suffer. Plenty of winners, so the bulk of people able for living near normal life, you get for do with my own sacrifices abroad under difficult conditions as well. Now, within I experience in the in trying to advocate for the release of Chairman and Mr. Babadi. It was what I would call a derailment of our constitutional values. Which I mean by that, you see, in every country, there's one thing they call the Constitution. It's the biggest law made for everyone. Because if you don't get not to have something they call the Constitution. Now they all in rights and obligations as a citizen are enshrined. That includes the leaders and those that they lead. But what I see in this country is kind of the Constitution itself being abused with impunity. It's like nobody will come out for ask questions. But I think the worst thing that can put any human being now for restricting natural abilities, freedom of movement, freedom of association, freedom of what I call you, belonging, and freedom of being and practice your tribal allegiances or what have you. Those are freedoms that you develop naturally. They are not written down by a book. So once those are curtailed, then that means humanity don't go too low into coexistence. Now that's how they see that within a country where there's no freedom of speech. As I talk to at the head and court, I get caught now by midday. I did try for head and court soon. So I will apologize for my absence. Probably I will make text if I have to later. But this is not the thing where disappear. The fact say you do not have the right to even express your mind, even though those are guaranteed by the Constitution and all laws provide for that. And if any law fall outside of that, the Constitution's provisions prevails. But not that they operate. And there's no recourse to anyone. As they talk, people, then they get arrested every day on suspicion of being a party to some subversive issues, we need not to, because they talk on social media and because they interact on social media. Okay, that is way, way down of our expectation. So this is not the way they suffer. And when people then kind of now the hands of the police and hands of the law, then get certain entitlements where what you would see of late in our current salon, those considerations are not even part of the policing mechanisms. They do what they like, how they like, and who they like, and how they want it. And so, because they are acting now on a new rule called orders from above, and I'm not here to name names. Orders from above means until what they are told there is nothing to do with the law. They go by what they want to say. So it makes a lot of us vulnerable, ordinary citizens, very vulnerable. Another thing where I see they go around, if I take that as an example, the gullibility of our people, the fact that people are prone into being duped into believing a way. Two things then float in this country of late. Number one, the issue of saying the elections are 2028. It's such a flawed myth used by people to pacify people's opinion. Why? Because it's not in our constitution. Because the coming of our elections is dependent on the current government being in power after 5 years of elections. That's what it did. So it's open. So for enough for they name a date for that, we just did that into a myth. Now that you don't go circulatory in this country again, and the issue of say, then don't divide the city, particularly mostly because I live, section by section. Would I go get like today? And would I go get like the other day? And would I go get like the other day? When somebody talked to me about that, I think as late as yesterday, I just get a bit angry. I say, you are the thing about this country, because all our looks as if we are fools. Number one, I'm not there for subscribing to electricity because I need for be giving a day one for user, the day one for user. That in itself is wrong. But that said, is that even possible? You, the day when the machine forget, you get light? No. So why are you building on this? Now somebody will live within a certain community. So those are the things now. So the country is run in a way. Number one, there's no freedom of speech. Number two, there's no adherence to the rules which will for guide we all, or the regulatory. And number three, there's so much misinformation mechanism, in fact, displayed or promoted by the people who we rely on. Like my brother they talk, they didn't bring a Ghana for the CID. I was there. Then I was fighting for Chairman and Babadi together. So I wanted to appear. I remember one guy coming, he cried. He cried at the betrayal where I believe he sends up na CID. He cried, very gentleman, young gentleman. They cried. Why? Then they arrest me. Just for stand for what he had believed, then they arrest me. That's how burning it was. And those are things we mustn't forget. And until we get to a point where each and every one of us will be entitled to what we're really entitled to, this country will remain for good at the decadence of history. And so this is why I'm standing of people of like minds to see how we make the arguments come to the public for people in the area. Now a worthy cause. And we mustn't relent, not by using war. And one thing I will always advise in any of these opportunities, I will say, target no tribe. Target no one on the basis of their belonging or their culture, who they are. You target people that do wrong. That's the way we go. You do not go about using violence, no violence, we don't need it. It's to see how we can speak, let our voices be heard. And that is why I'm prepared to be heard. So that in every way, they understand, say, what is going on right? Because we get the book, the guide, and for regulatory, the Constitution. If you do anything contrary to that book, you are going against our fathers and our forefathers' founding mechanism for me to be together as a family, not a tribe. I don't want to know someone's tribe. I just want to know your name. That suffices for me. I don't want to know where you came. I just want to know your name. That will do me. Okay, and to see if you meet the credentials for it, take a particular responsibility, and that's all. So that line will for stand up for promote with all united interests. I don't know what I want to say.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sise. Thank you very much.
Permits me.
Thank you very much.
Left one soon because they're going to high court now.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Indeed.
I'm available,
yes.
Sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Every day, Sierra Leoneans carry the heavy weight of pain of starvation, suppression, poor public services, as Mr. Sise just talked, incompetence in governance, injustice, family struggle to put food on the table. Students face educational challenges due to poor public services, and citizens are suppressed for expressing their discontent. Yet, people keep asking, why are we suffering so much? And when is this going to end? One man where they try for do this, now Ambassador John Lee. And he's here with us today to make a statement that will be go directly to the moral guarantors, the people that will be signed after the war for maintain democracy in Sierra Leone. Ambassador John Lee, you're most welcome, sir. You can mute your mic, sir.
Thank you. My name is John Lay, and I thank everyone for being here today. What the previous speakers have described is what Sierra Leone was like in 1896, not Freetown, the protectorate. That's what they described. Poverty, the bosses controlled the system, there was no law and order, no democracy, no independent institution. That's what they're describing here now. That's what the British met in Sierra Leone in 1896. They made a deal with the natives, but the native leaders, but they changed the system. They challenged it in 1998, and there was a war, and all the progressive people, as many as possible of them, were killed. Missionaries, traders, and stuff like that. That is exactly what you're describing here. No law and order. Everything is from above. The warrior above them was the warrior chief, not the police or anything like that. All these things you describe are the superficial things that the English left behind, the British left behind. Okay, poverty is one way of controlling people. There's no economy. If the government is doing something untoward, They don't want any free speech. So what we're describing has been part of Sierra Leone history. And the problem is that the British left the provincial leaders where they were. They just say, you cannot take life rationally, but don't bring your institutions to Freetown. We will continue where we are with Freetown and the colony, and we'll see what will happen later on. It went on quietly and quietly until 1951, after India, Gandhi opposed colonialism, and the English saw their vulnerabilities and spread independence quickly across the Commonwealth, the black states, those who can rebel. So what we have now is, since Granville Sharp came to Sierra Leone in 1787 to 1951, there were two communities in Sierra Leone, the colony and the protectorate. Then, despite all that time, the government, the colonial authorities, as all that time into 10 years of transition to independence in 1961. Anyway, very short, all these institutions ruined. They're not in effect anymore. But we are thankful that the colonial authorities, they didn't leave us. They're still with us. They're still bankrolling the government, and they're doing whatever they can do. But it's not an easy problem to solve. It's not an easy problem to solve. It's deep-seated. I read the history books, and they don't tell you the important things to Sierra Leone. 1896, 1898, 1951. And 1964.
We get to
Germany, unknown to many people in Sierra Leone, the Germans have been involved in Sierra Leone since shortly after the Nova Scotians came to Freetown. The Nova Scotians and the Germans had met in southern United States, fighting for King George III. King George III was not only King of England, he was King of Hanover, Germany, which was a state. So the first set of missionaries were in fact, CMS missionaries, were in fact Germans. But we don't know about that one. Sometime during the coup time, the 1990s, I think they kicked out the German ambassador. It's because they were ignorant. They have no idea how close the Germans were since 1787, around that 1992, around that time. So they are still with us. That this is Germans that brought the EU into the moral guarantee group. So the key nations, Britain, United States, and EU through Germany, they're the ones backing us. I want to say thank you very much for them for sticking to it. They came in the late 1980s or early 1992 when President Momo was there, and they went bankrupt. I'm talking to APC people. They keep on saying, comrade, comrade. When the push camp and shop in 1990, they reneged. The communist nation, socialist nation, they didn't support Sierra Leone. It was UK that sent a minister here to negotiate a deal. And it is that deal that is allowing them to be in the moral guarantor nation group. So they are inside there. They are solid nations. They know Sierra Leone history. Going back, the British have known Sierra Leone history going back since the Portuguese built Elmina, the trading port in Ghana. Going way back, the British have been trading in bond in the 1600s, early 1600s. The British came to Sierra Leone and made the first intention of staying here after Sir Francis Drake did his world circumvention, his circumnavigation around the world, to Freetown to negotiate a connection. The connection between England and Sierra Leone began in 1582. I don't see that in books. They're not educating people along those sides. But I thank them for bailing out the APC government in 1892, insisting on a multi-party constitution, and staying with us to all these worries where we made a mess of our independence. Total mess. I was in the system. I traveled from Freetown to virtually every major town in Sierra Leone and every remote, well, I stayed in remote villages to see what was going on because I didn't understand what was going on inside the SLPP. But the English are still with us. The Americans have joined them because when I was ambassador in Washington, I suggested to the Americans, I said, look, Charles Taylor is leaving Monrovia and causing a lot of trouble in Sierra Leone to find money to run his coup d'etat government over there, his revolutionary government. You cannot do for Liberia and you don't do for Sierra Leone. You have to combine the two nations and deal with them as one single entity because they all originate from the United States in two different ways. The Freetown people are different. They fought for their independence. The Liberians were actually expelled from America because they were afraid of them, because they have abused them and they didn't trust them. So they built a state for them in Liberia. And in fact,
minutes to go, sir.
What?
3 more minutes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
3 more minutes.
Yes, sir.
And they were supposed, when they wanted to open up Liberia, the first came to the British government in London and he sent them to Governor McCarthy in Freetown to say, go to him, he will tell you what to do. Governor McCarthy sent them to Banff, but they didn't make a deal there because there was a guy inside Banff called John Kizell, who had been a slave in America, had lived in Freetown, had retired and gone there, and was going to retaliate for slavery. And so they moved down the coast into where they are today. They made a better deal with the chiefs. There was no John Kizell there to stop them. Anyway, Liberia, and Sierra Leone are closely connected. And the Americans accepted this and they're supporting us. And I thank Governor Hunt for his patience and his diplomacy in avoiding bloodshed in Sierra Leone. Because what happened in 2023, without the MGN intervention, there would have been chaos in Sierra Leone. And I'm glad they spoke to both parties and stopped it. But Sierra Leone has no independent institution. They've all been strapped up. And I think that what they should help us to do is to negotiate a new compact between the various nationalities in Sierra Leone and let us get a genuinely independent institution. What Abdullah Conte did in 1990 was basically a one-manic situation. Bio has all the power he can do as it feels. And his suppression of free speech is basically to protect his cocaine business. That's all. When you have a non-law-abiding government, they don't allow free speech. They don't allow freedom of expression. So that's where the problem goes to. Bio is not running a legitimate government. We don't know what's in the TA. The TA is a mysterious document. I am appealing to the MGN to tell us what's inside the TA, what arrangement they made to keep Bio in power and how long he's going to stay in power and what are the succession plans. And would Bio again be in charge of running the 228 election like he ran the 223 election? No. If he's there, it's a waste of time. We want a fundamental solution that will correct the mistake made in 1951, where they just rushed to independence since 1787. They compressed it into 10 years to hand over power to a group. They did their best. SLPP was a united party. The British found all the progressive people in Sierra Leone, all the educated people, all the guys that they believed in, and put them together in one party. But underneath were certain politicians who didn't like it. They wanted it for themselves. The descendants of those who sold our people in the slave days. The people who stole the ancestors of the Creoles, they didn't like it.
Thank you, sir.
How many more minutes?
Yeah, well, you don't, but 1 minute. Go ahead, sir. 1 minute for you wrap up.
Okay, I'll round up this thing.
Yes, sir.
I'll summarize.
Yes, sir.
We need the British to increase their intervention in Sierra Leone, to tell us what's in the TA, to tell us what lies ahead, and to tell us how we prevent a repetition of the disaster that Bill has unleashed in Sierra Leone. They've taken action already. 3 people from the SLPP side have left the government. One is Abbas Bundu, the other one is Lima, the assistant interior minister, and the other guy, I think the justice that just left, the High Court judge. So the English knows, the British knows where the problem is. We have to address it.
Thank you,
We
sir.
need a new constitutional framework. In the meantime, we need to know what's inside the TA, what agreement they've made, and when we're going to have a change. Can a government go along there and begin to export cocaine from Freetown to London, to Amsterdam, or to Senegal? Can they set up an airline to distribute the thing, or set up embassies to distribute cocaine? There's got to be a limitation on government. As long as we have a one-manic constitution where one man is the be-all and the end-all. He appoints all the judges, he appoints all the commissioners, he appoints everyone, this and that, all the police officers, everything one man. That is not a good system. Democracy means dissolution of power. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Waiting for Family want to understand, waiting Ambassador John Lee talk about TA is referring to the tripartite agreement, because the understanding is that we still don't know the complete content. Apart from the 80 things that we can talk about, there are certain other agreements that were made between the illegal government and the opposition and the moral guarantors. So we need to know, apart from the result, the desegregated information then for the result, we also need to know the content of that agreement. And, let me remind you all that power and freedom come with blood and sweat and determination. And, we should all have faith that change will come. At this point, I want to call my good friend Imram T say a few words and introduce a chairman of the Progressives, Wadi Williams. Mr. Imram T, you're welcome, sir.
Pambulem in a cabo, plenty kushet. Well, I am so delighted where I hear Ambassador Lee talk, man with experience, man with order, man with class, man with precision. Now, then kind people then here, we don't look forward to for come before. But that is not my role today. My role now for introduce, we able chairman. A man where, as you call in name so, you know what he stand for. A man of principle, man of ethical values. A man where it a frown and things them we not right. Things them we not represent good governance. Things them we anti-democratic. Therefore, now a foundation member for put progressive Sierra Leoneans then for come together. We respect him, we value him, and he's the chairman of this organization. Famulem, I know for Bo with plenty talk. When una hear how it go display with the tongue for explain how we team up and waiting our intentions as an organization, we all together, then una go left with only one choice. Now for let una can be anyway. Because we national anthem say, family united ever we stand. If we want for succeed in our country, if we want for get lasting peace, not to the cosmetic peace them wouldn't they talk for national cohesion, because that is a cliche, that is smoke screen. Now a peace where every Sierra Leonean agreeable to. Now a peace where we all decide for forge something for one Sierra Leone. So ladies and gentlemen, I will now call the Talabi, the master, Sir Wadi Williams.
What can I say? What can I say after such a stunning introduction? Look, let me start by saying that I'm going to shift focus slightly. Our purpose today as the progressive is not simply to introduce ourselves to the nation, to the world. It's more than that. We want to begin to impress on the public's mind. We want to impress in the public's mind the possible solutions to this vexed problem that this nation faces. We are faced with a crisis of legitimacy. We're equally faced with various options to resolve this problem. Yes? Here's what we intend to do. What is clear over the months that we have been going through this very difficult period is that there is a simple and straightforward solution to this particular problem, to this problem of legitimacy. And that issue is the release of the disaggregated data. Let me just repeat that again. There is a simple, indubitable, clear solution to this very vexed problem. The release of the disaggregated data. What will that tell us? It will tell us who actually won this election. It will tell us about the individual or party or group that secured majority votes in the last election. Our problem, what the issue is with our nation currently, is that most of the nation and most of the evidence available indicates that we're currently being governed by an illegitimate government, a government without a mandate, a government that is intending to use force and intimidation and terror to, as it were, hold on to power. Well, let's be brutally frank. For talking like you, we say we not agree. Nayana, this country, what do the Constitution say? The only person or person them we can govern this country, and a person where we self choose. Now make we go vote. That is what the election is all about. But then we can vote and choose a government of our collective will. And forget the regime for decide, say, well, no matter what you say, power, we hold on to power. That is the cancer, the core of our system. And at that cancer day, now we want to put commodity. And let me be absolutely frank and blunt with you. When we say we want to put that cancer commodity, we say we want to put any government where they empower illegitimate. We will not relent. We will not hesitate. There is no doubt amongst our colleagues that this government must go. It lacks a mandate. In order to fulfill the constitutional mandate, we say, before you can be president now, before you can get government now, you must post 55% of the vote. Now, our position, the reason why we make all that here, all the evidence suggests say this current regime here not been get at 55%. That's not one. Secondly, the evidence suggests that in fact Samura posted the required figure, 55% plus. However, what we are saying, we need those results released so that one, we can establish, and if necessary, congratulate Mara for achieving the 56%, or invite him to remove himself from State House if he hasn't got the 55%. Invite Samura if he has the 55%, or if neither party has the 55%. Then we really must address the issue of a runoff or rerun. Those are the bold facts, not a simple issue they want. So what would you call, say we want the result, not the noise number one. We want to make sure, say, the government is founded on a legitimate mandate, with a legitimate mandate. And that legitimate mandate can only come once we have the disaggregated results presented for public consumption and assessment. That is the core of what we try. And what we all can say now is this. This country, we don't time. We don't shed tears, don't cry, we don't bleed for this one thing. This one thing. But you know what? Let we choose the government where we want. That's democracy. And irrespective to what the government, the current regime is saying now, let me reiterate again. This nation will have the seeds of democracy sowed here, will have the seeds of democracy blossom here, and will have the seeds of democracy transform our nation. Let me make a few comments about Usai Wideso and the implication of Usai Wideso. I should say, Oman is aware that there's been a major, and I mean a major, controversy over the legitimacy of this government. A major controversy. And here we are today addressing the same issue from the 2023 election. But I just want to ask you this simple question. If any of you now been president in this kind of regime, where the nation questions the legitimacy of your mandate, where the nation is suggesting now keep the election, where the nation is suggesting now terrify people, bully people, intimidate people, and for forcing ourselves na government. One thing I can guarantee say unami do where this thing happens. I come before and say, look, this yourself. Yeah, if you not say we get 56%, when I face that result, face that disaggregated result. So all man can see say we are legitimate in this government. Yeah. But when I notice say the silence of the regime, not one person at the regime, not for 1 second at the regime, they're not going to say, you know what, let me sort this issue. First thing is not come, then all man see say we get. When I ask yourself with him, if you now have been there, not to that man, ask yourself what he make this government here is afraid to address this issue of presenting the disaggregated result. Well, listen, I'm not going to ask myself, I go answer for them. They know they do not have the mandate. They know they never, ever got 56%. And from a constitutional point of view, they have no right. They are usurpers. And in many ways, this manipulation of the results sails very close to treason. So let me understand what you're talking. And I think we must not forget the people there who don't live and die for democracy. We must not forget the corpses we don't litter this country out, inflicted on this country by this people. We not forget. And insofar as Sierra Leone is going through a birth process, we intend to totally transform this governance process. So I make no apology for the fact where I tell them straight up, directly. The purpose of this exercise is to return legitimacy to this nation. We have lost legitimacy. We are, if I may be so bold to say, we're now almost governed by a hypocrisy, by a corrupt, a brutal, an invidious, and to be quite honest, a disgraceful regime that's an insult to the integrity of this nation. I will address other matters subsequently. But now, all I want to impress on all my say the purpose where we there and to begin to solve this problem now. Sierra Leone cannot function for as long as the basis of our governance is open to question. For as long as the basis of our governance is subject to thoughts and concepts of illegitimacy. We cannot tolerate and maintain a government or regime that has left the country littered with corpses of our citizens. And I don't mean in fives and tens, but in hundreds. This nation will no longer tolerate such an act. And so let me say with that fear of favor again. We intend to insist, to demand, and successfully acquire the disaggregated result. And I will tell you again why. Those results will tell us who the legitimate government is. It may well be that the results will indicate that Mada's team, in fact, obtained 56%. In that case, they must receive the respect, the support, and be granted the legitimacy that is their due. But if the current regime can be shown not to have acquired 55% of the votes, then they really must pack the bag and move. They must remove themselves from state. If the results, furthermore, show that Samura obtained the threshold of 55%, then he must be given the keys to State House. And of course, the third option, if neither party scored the required 55%, which is something new suggested, then we must address the reality of having a rerun or some other replay of the election process. Now, that is as far as I want to go for the moment. I will be returning to discuss things further, but I just want to set that outline so we understand what is the issue. We are here to ensure that democracy sinks its roots into the foundation of this land. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wadi Williams. As I say, where we begin, the progressives will show the courage needed because our principles have been violated. Social norms transgressed, laws broken, and despite the risk we have taken up to for challenge this system with the moral courage, victory will be ours. At this point, I will call on Madam Zainab, if she is with us, to make a point to explain to people in 5 minutes the pain and difficulties that Sierra Leonean women are going through, I would say in the last 7 years, for many people and begin to understand why the progressives emerge as we have today. Madam Zainab, are you with us? If she's not with us, is Moy with us? Well, in that case, I will come back to Imram T for appeal to people them for many members say what you would do takes a lot of resources where at this present moment now we on penny there with the put. So my dear brother Imram T now for kindly appeal to people them for whatever support they can extend to us, the progressives. Thank you very much once again, sir.
Pambulem in a cabo plenty kushete in again. Yabunde se awana avisie. Pema minu seke nungu sukuri nuto. Well, we know say the world where we day, money na a wonderful thing. Even so, then the mislead winner Sierra Leone say the Bible talks say money is the root of all evil. That is not correct. The Bible say the desire for money is the root of all evil. Money is a good thing. If money is evil, how comes we need money for everything? We need money for it. We need money for let we get with salaries, then for let we were able to expand in we life or we quality of life. So, this organization, we start them, we don't run them from we own pocket them. That is how much we like we country. When they say sweet soup na money kill them, you know come out optic for them. If we see them, we not do nothing, we not go get nothing. So we don't start the ball rolling up. The lily jati what we get, we really enact in them. We don't invest and what we believe. We don't reach a point now where we want for diversify. We want for go deep. Because we country don't feel by a bed. A cold pant up, a hot inside. So we get for Fenway for each this ebele and not born with coat. And one way we will do that. Now for let we all come together. Let we all do Osusu. Not only Osusu, when the politician and they do, they heap for themselves. But waiting and they call patrimony. We, na real democracy, we want practice na ya. When they say democracy, it comes from Greek origin, we mean power to the people. And if the people then get power, it means to say, then take power. And one way they take power, now the sacrifice way they put into within you believe in. So we call upon every Sierra Leonean, join with all progressives. This organization, it no complexion, it no tribe, it no religious orientation. It is tribal neutral, religious neutral, regional neutral. They only get one vision. Now one Sierra Leone. That arrangement where the late man, the great man, Lamina Sanko believed, one country, one people, because I make that slogan there. For now we make that become a reality with the big una, with the encourage una, with the ask una, kindly, with national anthem, we papa them, we grandpa them. They not be full with and say family united ever we stand. They not say united and say family united. That means to say for Kanye, tight. Unanda we Kanye. The same rain where they make bitter leaf bitter and they make sugar cane sweet. Whatever affect bitter, it will affect cocoa. What it affect manja, it will affect Mariama. What it affect Jenabu, it will affect Geneba, it will affect Yebu. We will not sit down. We roof day on fire. Not for just talk. Then say you get for put your motor side you money day, or you put your money outside you mot day. Whichever way it come, family. Una duck una hand and deep na una pocket. Not to the amount of money we una they put. Now the little we una put, little drops of water makes the mighty ocean. Make una subscribe, let una support. And let una join this organization. All other subsequent country them. Then they try for 40 go before. Sierra Leone, anytime will take one step go before, they take 20, come back behind. Other countries then they go before they reverse. But let we stop this trend. Do ya? At the big una. At the encourage una. Let una come forth. Una can contact me. Una can contact Mr. Winston Ojuku Tumakoli. Una can contact Ambassador na America. We na Musa Tonyaya. Una can contact Pajalo, Jamburia. Una can contact Zainab. Una can contact Susan Williams. We all did in solidarity for make we bring joy come back now we country. We not go able to make we country grow way fired in our roof. Because monkey be make that mistake. He sets fire in the bush. He say one for kill them tomorrow. He forget say if he climb up the tick, not to the fire go kill under the smoke. He end up for gonna ground. Fire roast some, just like how we roast the tumbo them. Una allow no make that be with story. Una allow we come together. Let we do the right thing. And you want that?
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. You're great in Mamtree. I see you make Ambassador John Lee Self the laugh. Thank you very Thank you very much.
Yes,
Waiting when they do so, a serious risk. So we all, not to just run away the free child, so we all, because we say flyer, they don't tamper out to phone them, they don't tamper out to system them, but we continue because for the simple fact that we stand on a morally courageous ground. We need your courage to stand up with us and let we fetch this battle for Sierra Leone. And what I want to say now to Sengepia, the great man, and also TNN and all the other platforms them. We want to continue for say thank you to all way they support this program today. And now we can open the floor for make we begin take questions them. And do you way to take way to make it questions? We not care for can make blabber with anybody. We not care for can talk about APC or SLPP. We care for talk about Sierra Leone. We know say we are all patriotic to we school, to we organizations, to we tribal. As Mr. Jallo made talk to, it's a situation a lot of people don't understand. When you say what I notice with us Sierra Leoneans, we are patriotic to our school, we are patriotic to our organizations, we are patriotic to our tribe. Then we are not nationalistic to Sierra Leone. So what we represent here, we are being nationalistic. We are not being patriotic. We are being nationalistic for Sierra Leone. So when you get your questions, send you questions, and then say you ask, you want to make Ambassador Lee answer the question, you want to make Chairman Wadi answer the question, lawyer, she said don't go. I don't know if lawyer is kindly there with us. If lawyer is kindly there with us, or if Madam Zainab don't come, they can come on board and make a few statements before we open the floor for questions. So over to you, Sangapia and TNN. Sangapia, you get me? I think available. I see you send a message. I have to go now. Okay, so far now. So then whoever else. Okay. They wait for the questions then. Well, why should they wait for yes, Mike Butcher. Yes, go ahead, sir, Mike Butcher.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Well, I just want to tell the progressive plenty thank you for this session. I think in a good move. Of course, me a journalist, and they talk from London, and we all concerned about what's going on in the country because you know the country have a war. And I'm particularly concerned about the recent anti-cyber law which they passed recently. They passed in a very surreptitious manner, underhand manner. Then they passed the law where, I mean, even this program where they're on so right now, I mean, they can use it against people and we're critical of the government. So we're all concerned. So I believe it's a good effort and for all rally around anybody we remember good for Salone for come together and support what's in the progressives they know embark on. So having said that, I go just want to know what's in the procedure for membership and how if one for make a contribution, how financial contribution, I mean, how you go make the contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike Butcher. I mean, asked if Madam Zainab there, but not there. So basically, I'll go link up with you and send the details to you in terms of membership and contribution. We get anybody else we available for ask questions.
Just one moment, please.
Yes, please.
We have a member of the finance committee here, Madam Susan Williams.
Okay, Madam Susan. Yeah, Madam Susan. Yeah.
Offer some insight.
Yeah. Go ahead, ma'am. You not clear? Hello? So can we be charging the mic whilst the mic is being idle? So maybe the charge them always, please.
Oh. Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear. Yeah.
Okay. I said provided the answer I would have offered, but I'd like to say for anybody else who is interested in joining us, is that we will be putting up the account numbers in WIAD, because as we have done over the past week. And we also have given him telephone numbers of our contacts so they can contact us. Basically, what normally happens because of security, we've been very cautious about admitting people to our WhatsApp forums. But now that we are out and people want to join us, quite a handful have joined us over the past week since our last program with we had. We will need to make better arrangements for more people to join us, because as they say, the more the merrier. But for now, we are carrying our account number and our telephone numbers. And for those of us we know who want to join the progressives, they can always contact myself, Mr. Williams, Mr. Ojuku, Macaulay, Imran, and anybody who's a member of the progressives. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ambassador John Lee, I have a question from somebody by the name of Yamide Koka from Australia. The lady they asked, in your own opinion and also from your past experience, what you feel saying are the most important thing where the moral guarantors therefore do now for help for return Sierra Leone to democracy in addressing electoral justice? He said, what are the immediate thing where you feel say, because there are plenty, to quote unquote, he said, when I can don't pass 60, they all can go back to Salon, but now they're all stuck in overseas. So what are the immediate thing where you feel say will help to address the issue of returning Sierra Leone to normalcy, sir? The question comes from Yamile Koka from Australia.
Excuse me. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me. Thank you, Winston.
Yes, sir.
And thanks, Ms. Coker, for the question. I think it's a very valid question and very relevant. But I would say the first thing I would like to hear from the donor nations to do is to tell us what is inside in the tripartite agreement. What are the details? How long is Bio going to stay in power? Is it going to be for till 2028? Who is going to run the 2028 elections? We want to know the details so we can start from there. Number two, and this is not short term, this is the long term, is to help Sierra Leone design a new constitutional architecture. So this one-manic decision making is put to an end, and we have independent institutions with checks and balances. That is what we need to do. The transition period from 1951 to 1961 was too short, considering that the British have been in Sierra Leone very active since 1787. That is 238 years. All was compressed in 10 years. Not good. So today, we'd like to know what's inside the TA agreement. What are the rights and responsibilities of the parties? What we're going from here, so we understand what is going on. They've removed 3 people: Abbas Wundo, the Deputy Internal Affairs Minister, and the Justice of the High Court. We don't understand why those are going on. They should tell us. The people in Sierra Leone are supposed to be the beneficiaries of all the arrangement there. We're back to the old days where only the insiders get to control the information. So I think what we should ask them to do likely is to thank them first of all for the job they've been doing, for their intervention and their continued support, but would like to be involved in the decision-making process. The community should be represented. That's what I'm saying for now.
We have another question. Ahmed Samba, aka Alikali Baibure. He said, I have a question for Mr. Lee. Can you go ahead with the question, please? Then we also have a question for Mr. Arthur Alston, but after Mr. Ahmed. Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lee. I greet the one whole country and everybody. Everything what I've been wanting to say, that lawyer don't talk, experienced people don't talk. But the only thing will baffle me, now Mr. Lee, now the only person will baffle me. Because everything where it counts down, what it bring up about Sierra Leone, one British system, the tripartite, UK government for subsidizing up till now. For me, everything sounds like failure from the beginning. The way it talk, it look discredit the one the way being even go, that they even rush. It means that we're not being good enough for independence before we take an, and up to this point, I want Mr. Lee tell me one word, yes or no. Is see the nation still naive like we've been seeing before?
Thank you, sir.
No, Sierra Leone is a changed place. I'm lucky to have been in Sierra Leone before independence. I was in high school, secondary school. And I went back after college and I worked for the Bank of Sierra Leone. And I saw the kind of decisions they were making. It was not what I was very disappointed when I got back. This is a long time ago. And since that time, it's going downhill to retrogression. So let us go to the beginning. They came with a one-party state. It was good intended. Bagai began it. Shakasevi took over. And it stayed in till the 1990. And then we have the multi-party constitution. The multi-party constitution ensuring the one-manic warrior chief system that the British met there. But people don't understand that. One man makes all the decision, appoints everybody, they all report to him. We don't want that kind of system. We want...
Like what you, Mr. Lee. You know, think say, me and man, we don't see them. Even look the way the British, they left the economy. You go listen and carefully. Ordinary Salon man, they call any other Lebanese who impose his scheme master. Then give the entertainment and other things them to the Lebanese around the peninsula and everything. The system all will build up. You get aristocracy. They want the name grow with them. So even the British people, they're not being even loyal. The way when they left the society structure, it been prone for failure. Me surprised for say Lebanese will be in this salon where British they're ready for go, then give the all British passport. The ordinary still have no man not the move. So the plan been there from the beginning. And when the Governor Clarkson in prayer for me now the biggest fast, thief man not the pray for me. He was a thief, then Senande, then Chesam. You know they pray for me. So me see the one or things the British system not been satisfied with Salome, so they lay grounds and foundation for let we fail. Now that we depend today. Because we not been get paramount chief. Now another president them put. So the British can that way.
Thank you.
Well, good. That's a fair analysis. But you know something? We're going back to 1950. Do you know what Sierra Leone like was in 1950s? It's very different from today. Very, very different. You have two systems, the colony and the protectorate. One on a common law, the other one on a native law. They have been buffeted since India Gandhi went to India and had his independence, the English were in a rush to get out of the colonies. So I agree that mistakes were made. I'm not going to blame them for that. I won't blame them for that. As for the Lebanese, those who got British passport were born there. They were actually born there. That's the international law. Where you are born is where you get your citizenship. You cannot throw them out. You have to find some ways to accommodate them. They have a superior, they're coming from Lebanon and that area, Syria and Turkey and that Middle East. That's the cradle of civilization. They've been trading in international trade since Henry Navigator, before they came to Sierra Leone, they've been trading in that. So they have the maturity, the experience, and all that heritage we don't have. We've not reached out. Let me finish. We've not reached out to them. Okay, what we go there? Just beg for this and that and stuff like that. So I don't blame them for being separate and being distant. It is our responsibility to get them integrated into Sierra Leone. We've not done that. I don't want any discrimination against any racial group or any tribal group. I don't want that.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Mr. Halston, you said you get a question?
Yes, sir. I do.
Who I direct the question to?
Most likely to the chairman Imranti.
Okay.
But this is not to the progressives, they said to everybody within the progressives. Okay. Now, over the years, we don't get electoral reforms. Make I introduce myself. Mina Ato Halston, Mina a former employee of the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone now. Waiting we use for know as National Electoral Commission. Now, over the years, since Dr. Top been come with the Reformed Electoral Commission sponsored by the UNDP back then, we don't get electoral reforms over the years. We're supposed for them to improve on the electoral systems. We will bring integrity into electoral processes. What we see this BNTM in 2023, many people where they of sane mind no say no to proper elections that one day. Now, with the international community, especially the USA, we issue a travel ban on electoral commissioners. That don't tell we say no say the elections not being correct. Now, going forward, we already get electoral laws where they prosecute who that do electoral fraud or commit electoral fraud. The progressives, are we only asking for disaggregated results or the progressive gets an agenda for prosecute whoever, including commissioners and members of staff, will get themselves involved in this 2023 electoral fraud where we all know say happen, we just wait for them for approval. That's my question, sir.
Mr. Ojuku too?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, just quick suggestion. I don't know if una wait for make that they be part of fun. We get a lot of people really watch. We go likely want for ask a question. I don't know if una want for let we get some few calls them, for come inside. And in my own area, for add on to it, Mr. Ansel said just now, we understand say by July, Mohamed Kone will actually take the exit door. So I don't know, yes, Mr. Fan for add to that one day if at that particular point say if the progressive go on for take up, the case na court first, because now I feel say na way we local court don't reject or don't play one kind of game per any legal matter, then we can go to the ECOWAS court and look for other courts as well where we go to. So then the yes now for just add, to that one for answer that question the way Mr. Ansels they ask. So and then the question of the people, we want to follow take some few calls.
Please. No, take about 4 or 5. How you feel? How you see him?
Oh yes. If we take 5 safe bad at all, at least let the voice be part of the program.
Yeah.
But the question way that man asked just now, somebody can answer quick?
Yeah. Go ahead, please. Mr. Chairman Wadi.
The question that was posed simply this: are the miscreants that have caused such a nightmare in this country, are they going to be held accountable? I think that's the underlining question. Ms. Mike Yadiwo.
Yes, today on you.
That's the underlining question. Now, I can say without fear of contradiction that we will actually hold the people accountable. We cannot have this nightmare unleashed on this nation, and we simply look the other way. When I say held accountable, I expect us to follow very closely what the law says. We are what we might refer to as constitutional. We are defenders of the Constitution. And therefore, our response to these miscreants will be guided by the Constitution. So please have no fear. They will be held accountable. And I think the nation needs to have that cathartic experience of these people who have inflicted so much suffering and impoverishment in this country. We as a nation can see that that kind of behavior will not be accepted, not today, not tomorrow. And those that have been guilty of this, rest assured, the new justice will address those issues. So have no concern about that. We will make sure that that is the case. What I think we need to do, and we need to keep at the forefront of our mind, we will not be pursuing an exercise of vendetta. That is so passé, that is so yesteryear. I know previous regimes, with the change of regime, the incoming one goes on a manhunt of the previous one. No. We will be guided strictly by justice. And I will go so far as to say one of the greatest contribution that this process will enable us to do is to actually begin to set the foundation for justice. Let me just remind the listeners and viewers. Salon Tinapan, 3 pillars there: unity, freedom, and justice. And to that extent, when we say justice, not just justice in our courts no more. We're referring to political justice, economic justice, social justice, ideological justice, commercial justice, electoral justice. So you see inside that fits perfectly into this structure where we say now the tripod where this nation tinapa. So the question of justice is paramount. And we will not say we're in pursuit of justice and yet unleash an unjust, unjust action against those perpetrators of the crimes that we're discussing now. So we will deliver a just resolution to this problem. And I hope that goes some way to answering your question. We will be in line with the Constitution. We will be conformists, constitutional conformists. But we will also ensure that those that have injured, plundered, rapaciously violated this country, they will be held accountable.
Okay. So let me go quickly and begin to take some few calls then as we get
Go ahead, sir.
So we start with this first one. Good day. Your name and inside the call from, please.
It's Asise from Maryland.
Okay, go ahead. You get the platform. 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Good morning, and thank you for giving me the platform. So first of all, I actually and strongly believe plenty Salon people, including me, we actually believe that Samura Kamara and the APC not able to fight for the electoral justice, for make sure Madam Bill no continue for rule in a stolen mandate, right? So basically, me personally, I strongly believe that, and that is why plenty of we just don't give up, let Mada just continue until 2028, then we see what's in the happen, right? So now the question is, with the progressives, with all their ideas there and all of that, waiting at the guarantee for sure if Salon people support them in this, that's not going to end up for like a betrayal as how Samura Kamara and APC then betray. Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless you. Please, when I take note of the questions them, and after then don't ask the questions them, when I will come to them quickly. We go to another one quickly. Welcome to the show, caller. You name and inside the call from, please.
Hello, sir. Where they do, sir?
Where they do fine. 1 minute, 30 seconds. Go ahead. You name and inside the call from.
I recall the last time that you could rest program. I mean, bring one suggestion, come of a petition. A better way than people don't form this group where they call progressive. Last if they go able to buy the idea. I believe so the first and foremost thing we all for remember is for police government na power. We can't allow this government for conduct 2028 election, which waiting and don't do 2023. And the easy for law pulling na power. If we get those petition, that petition they comprise of we election result. We need forget them. That's not thing what we supposed to forget. It's mandatory. Not to tell what they beg forget them. We supposed to forget them. Then the cost of living at the country, the high cost of living at the country, and every other thing else, we for put her in place. Put another petition there. When we don't put another petition there, what do we need for do now? That petition there, will they take on to the United Nations? Will they take on to the African Union and ECOWAS? Will they ask for the security? Fix a date for demonstration. Now that country they, but now then they give you the security because we know they trust the security in the country. Now then if they not give you the security, we can't go ahead with the demonstration. Now the only way they take pull will form a government of national unity or an interim government. That interim government now they road for Canada and a roadmap of Sierra Leone for 50 years, short-term, medium-term, and long-term plan. And that 50 years, they would
5 more seconds, please.
Law in the country. Nobody will not get where they can't tell me say one bag and be 216 go make
Thank you
pass that.
very much, my brother. God bless you.
We don't want people letting the pass in parade. Do you let we sit down, let them think about this. This is the only way forward for Sierra Leone.
Thank you.
If we not put Madam Biona power or this government power, we can't go forward and we can't allow them for 2023. The
Thank
APC
you.
can't be trusted either.
Thank you, my brother. God bless you. All right, the line's still open. We don't take 2 calls. The line's still open. We go to another call quickly. Welcome to the show, caller. Your name and the call from, please. You get a platform.
Good afternoon. My name is Delvin Thomas. I call from Bangor, Northern Ireland. This question now to any of the panelists. Firstly, thank you for such a fantastic press conference. We understand waiting una want, which is a release of the disaggregated data, which is your focus. But waiting another year. Now the roadmap for get to there. What is the basic roadmap to get to that point? And this is almost 2.5 years after the event. What is the basic roadmap? And again, thank you for the press conference.
Thank you. God bless you. We go to another call again inside the program. Welcome to the show, caller. Your name and inside the call from, please. Hello, caller.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Your name and inside the call from?
I'm at the meeting Sunday talk.
Okay, go ahead, get platform.
Let me go quick to Mr. Chairman. My own question is that how long Salon people go wait till the tripartite everything the result go come where we will get with justice? How long? For how long? Because we don't wait first 6 months now with the good from 2023 to now. Now 2 years they go, so how long? Every day they say soon, very soon, very soon. But how long will Salon people, the patients, don't they come out now?
All right.
It's like, for continue, we don't know. So let them tell me how long now, for how long, how
Thank
many
you
months remains.
very much. God bless you. We'll take 2 last call, please. Just 2 last call inside the program, and we go big for we take the panelists' reaction. Welcome to the show, caller. Your name and inside the call from, please.
Hello, Riyadh.
Yes, welcome. You get the platform. Your name and inside the call from.
Yeah, I call from New York, I'm a concerned citizen.
Okay, go ahead.
My own interest now about the history of Sierra Leone.
Okay.
Because there's one of the panelists at the forum, they talk about things that were happening in the 50s, where some of we not born then and we not read them in the history book. My concern here is there a way where the elites of Freetown, the elites of Sierra Leone, like them so waiting at the panel, can modify the history of Sierra Leone, because the nation will not get into history, not they get in real identity. We see that of recent, waiting happen at the Burkina Faso, because of the people that know their history, they're able to get a leader and they're able to get control over the natural resource.
All right.
So, and if we not get the history right, some of we we no redenting in the we are a lost nation.
All right.
So we not want
Thank
the
you.
generation where they come in the future for be a lost nation.
Thank
so
you.
I suggest that for
Thank
a
you
modification of the history of
very
Sierra Leone.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless you. And of course, we'll take one last call inside the program this afternoon. And the call day inside right now. Welcome to the show. Caller, your name and where you call from?
Yeah, good morning.
Good
To
morning.
all the panelists there. Good morning, Sengbepi. This is Jibrila from New Jersey.
All right, Jibila, go ahead.
You know, say this Camo Mother building council now regime change. Then we make a regime change. So
Okay.
now we get for go back. What it mean this man? And then we use that same thing. I believe say if we go back and go to the international committee and say, look what I don't do to we. Now bring this man for regime change for reason we best known to them. And we get for no identify the reasons and the why make them bring this regime change. We don't can cause so much havoc. We pass any other government we don't get a salon. So if these panelists can go back and go and show evidences to the international community, and I mean, kind for regime change. This look what this man don't do, and maybe the intention is so good, but now this man don't betray them. So we need to country back upon all what he don't do, the havoc they always don't cause, up to this drug lord business, this drug business we don't get at this country. So maybe that they go ahead. Now we go back to the international community. We need a regime change because this man not fit for our country. Like that.
Thank you very much. We're very much sorry. I know say a lot of them want for call because of the city calls them they come inside, but we're very much sorry. We go only limit the call to then number of people here so we actually don't take because we don't run with time right now. Let me go back to we we panelists them for later actually answer the questions them quick one. So we go wrap up. But in the meantime, you will watch the program. Don't forget for like and share so other people go actually benefit from this. And if you try for call, you know be part, not discourage. More time there for you in another edition where we go get for the door. I believe they go get for the come to you regularly. Okay, over to you, Winston Ojuku to Macaulay Jr.
Thank you very much, Angapia. We got 6 questions. 3 they go to Chairman Wadi, and then I think 3 they go to Ambassador John Lee. And one of the questions I want to make Chairman Wadi and Ambassador John Lee answer. The first question talk about betrayal. Which assurances Sierra Leoneans then get say not to the same Rikishi business way we don't suffer within the APC, and even now we even stretch and say to even KKY for say if at the end of the day Sierra Leoneans then team up for support the change we would call for, that Sierra Leoneans will not be betrayed again as we have been in the past. That question goes to Chairman Wadi.
I think we're all aware that most of the political actors in our salon, the one way the regime will buy, then don't buy. The one way they able to intimidate, then don't intimidate. And so in some cases, as in various individuals, the one way they don't kill, they don't kill. So what thing we are faced with now, when they talk to people, then where they're not able to buy, they're not able to intimidate, they're not able to terrorize, and to date, they're not killing you. So we can be absolutely assured that were we susceptible to the blandishments of this government, we would have already succumbed. So I can say without fear of contradiction that we will not be, and this group will not be, a victim of any of the duplicity that has literally poisoned Sierra Leone politics. What defines us, the defining feature of this group, is that we have avoided the corrupt blandishments of this regime. That should be evidence enough. However, there's a second line that should make this point clear. As a group, we take this firm position. The only members that can operate here, there should be the following requirements. Then get forgettability, obviously. But secondly, they must be unquestionable, unblemished. They must have integrity. And thirdly, they must be passionately patriotic. They elect this country so they can put their life on the line for this country. If you get an ingredient there, you can be guaranteed that then kind of people, they're not even, not begin jump ship, not begin all the kind of we don't other people in India. Somebody we mentioned Yom Keller just now.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps Yom Keller represents exactly what we are not. We will not betray our responsibilities. We will not betray this nation. And I think we can say without fear of contradiction that we who are members of this progressive, I assure you, we will rather put our lives on the line than betray this nation again. So insofar as there's salvation for this nation, it will be and is with the progressive. And as they say, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Well, we don't be eating, and you will see.
Thank you,
we
sir.
will
Thank you.
deliver to this nation.
Yes, sir. Ambassador John Lee, this question, what this person asks about petition and forming a new, an independent administration that will administer an election going up to 2028. Somebody else, a British colleague of mine who is also a journalist by the name of Stephen Harris, also been sent that question to me before this Sierra Leonean gentleman asked the question. And so they make a direction to you because this has to do, has to do more with the international community, the moral guarantors, unlike Chairman Wadi, where they deal with the local gangsterism within the system. So Ambassador Lisa, the same question from two people, Stephen Harris, a British journalist, and a Sierra Leonean, I think, with in New Jersey. They asked about a petition to the UN, and how do we go about, how will we frame it to say, how do we go about getting the moral guarantors, and especially ECOWAS, to recognize the situation in Sierra Leone and see how Sierra Leone could have or can have an election or a kind of an independent government that will administer election 2028 or before 2028. Something similar to what happened now Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, put aside the violence where both regimes were removed. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, that's a tough question. To me, there is already a regime overhead. That regime is supposed to be guided by the moral guarantor nations. The fact is, we don't know what the rules are inside there. We don't know. We have no. The public doesn't know. So I say the starting point is how what was the deal made to settle the 2023 election and to bring the peace that has been going on. Then we have all these things coming up after that. So we have to get the details of the arrangement for the existing situation in Sierra Leone. You got to start somewhere. And I think the place to start, that's the beginning of where we are right now, and it's the basis for which to go forward. Now, to me, all these things we're doing, they are not the real issue. The real issue is the system of governance in Sierra Leone. We've not fixed it yet. So we cannot solve all these specific retail questions. We have to get a genuine democratic architecture to answer all these questions. If you have a one-manic system, forget it. The one-manic system where one man makes all decisions, makes all the appointments, that they call him the man from above. Anything they go to him. No, we don't want that kind of system at all. It doesn't work. But that's fundamental to Sierra Leone culture. A warrior chief decides everything. You know, he can shoot you and kill you. There's no appeal. So we start with the moral guarantors and say, please, and the two guys inside there, Dr. Samora and President Dio, what is the deal? What are you guys, how do you guys make your decisions? What is your authority? How did you resolve the 223 elections so we don't repeat it? Who is going to conduct the 28 elections? If it's not inside there, how do we do it? But what the two questionnaires mentioned is that we may need a transition government for the time being, or we don't need. We can allow. The years its finishing is 2.5 years, half of it in 5 years in December, or whatever the T anniversary, the effective date of the TA is. We don't know. We need all the details. Nothing should be done in an opaque fashion. Yeah. That is what is wrong with Sierra Leone. the guys on top make decision by themselves. They don't share it with the commoner. That's not democracy. Power comes from the people and give it to them, but they look like they're the ones with the power, giving this what they feel like giving us. And it's the opposite. So number one, we want to know what's inside the TA. How did I reach those things? And what's the, I'll call it, the logic, the reasoning behind those decisions. We want to understand them. If we don't understand them, we're not going nowhere. We're not going anywhere. So we need to understand where we are right now. Creole man say, if you're not sabi who side come out, you're not going to know who side for go. You're not going to know who side you go.
Thank you.
So the place is, we want to know where we are right now and who is making decisions and what are their rights and obligations. Does Bill have the right to ship cocaine out of Sierra Leone and not catching anybody? That's what we want to know. What are the limits of the present administration? But I can see the moral guarantor nation. They don't want to they want us to learn to solve our own problems. This is it. But we're going to have the facts. We have to have the way. If we don't do it, we allowed ourselves. The APC was there for all those years while BO was removing all the northerners from the army. I didn't hear any noise. I didn't hear any street demonstrations and stuff like that. So both parties are responsible. The justice system was not objective, but the British left a system to help ensure objectivity, but the one-party system cancelled Sierra Leone right to the prison council. So everybody made mistakes over the years. We have to go back and say, this is what has happened. These are the things we need to correct. And there are 100 of them to correct, not just one or two, 100 things. The amount of damage Abbas Bundu did by finagling with the constitution is fantastic. The constitution is guaranteed on the history behind it, but all those are ignored. Just to go back to the one-manic system. We have to change that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So basically, the understanding from your point of view as a seasoned diplomat and somebody within the corridors of power in Washington, these people of Sierra Leone needs to be informed by the content, the real content of the tripartite agreement, not just the 80 points, 84 things I wanted to talk about. We want to know the real agreement, the authentic agreement between the international community, Marabio, and Samuel Kamara. That is what is missing in the public. Thank you very much, sir. Chairman Wadi, as somebody who has been there within the political system 2023, you know anything that could help us before we go to the next question? Briefly, sir.
I think we were all surprised by the results that were the non-results that were announced by COMER. I think the feeling on the ground during that period was that indeed Samura had indeed attained the required 55%. Let me say this. One of the disturbing factors about that experience, that election, was the fact there were massive organized intimidation. Opposition parties were chased out of various areas in the south and the east. And even in other areas, there was constantly the threat, and in some cases, in many cases, the application of violence. So we had a very traumatic experience indeed. And we can say this. The power regime, which is really the almost criminals in this exercise, behaved in a wholly violent and brutal manner towards the opposition. And what we have today is just a continuation of that process. Now, I don't want to take this issue too far into the past, but the last but one election in 2018, I think that is the seed. That is where the original sin was committed. I have said this before and I'll say it again. In the 2018 election, this nation chose what the French referred to as cohabitation. They gave the executive to the SLPP. They gave the legislature, in terms of seats in parliament, to APC. I don't think it takes a genius to recount what happened. The first thing the incoming government the SLPP government did, was to remove 9 or 10 APC MPs and then force through a speaker. And that was the original sin. In a sense, it was our fault for not having stood firm enough, made it clear that this nation would not tolerate that kind of manipulation of our electoral decisions. We let that go. Now we see we are today the child that was birthed by that indulgence. We're now faced with an even greater catastrophe where even the results of the elections are being dismissed and the dictatorship is attempting to impose itself. Yeah. So from the ground, what I can say is this: there is no doubt that a fair election here, there is no doubt the current regime would not win such an election. And I can say what we're experiencing is the march towards a dictatorship. And we must oppose. We cannot afford the luxury of a return to that nightmare.
Thank you, sir. So before I go to Imram T, briefly, sir, this could just immediately make you answer the question with reporting camp about a roadmap. Briefly, if you can, a roadmap to address the answer with Ambassador John Ligby, which is that we need to know the content, the real content of the tripartite agreement. Thank you very much. Imram T, after that, you will come in.
Right. Is that directed to me?
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chiamawadi.
Right. Well, listen, I think an aspect of the tripartite agreement that we know exists in the tripartite agreement, yet has been violated comprehensively, is this. Resolution 3 empowers that committee to demand, request and demand, and indeed receive data information that will contribute towards them making what we might call informed decisions. On 3 separate occasions, members of the committee lodged an application with ECSL, with CONAIR, requesting the release of data. Surprise, surprise. Amongst the data that was required was the disaggregated data. On 3 occasions, they made that request to ECSL. And ECSL simply dismissed it. On one occasion, they declared it was a security issue or confidential issue, etc. Now, it is this kind of madness that is underpinned Sierra Leone politics that we need to change. Imagine, even though the tripartite document, the Resolution 3, empowered them to request and receive these key documents, it was simply dismissed. So we have the end of the process where a key factor, a key phenomenon, a key source of data, a key piece of information that really would transform the outcome, they simply trample over that and refuse.
So what's the roadmap?
Now, to turn to this question of roadmap. Now, please let me say this. I'm speaking from the perspective of the progressives. Earlier on, I made clear that we're very much constitutionalists and very much committed to democracy. I think we now have to consider if the government, despite everything that we've done, insists, as I say, for being totally dismissive of the people's will, well, we're considering a whole series of civil disobedience. We must look at the efficacy of civil disobedience, and that can take many forms. But that will be the next stage from staying at home right the way through to a general strike if necessary. But this government must be held to account and must be removed. They do not have a mandate. So can I say to the questioner, we will calibrate our progress. We'll calibrate that progress. We will start, as we're doing now with this particular press conference. We will then intend to go on to speak about civil disobedience in terms of staying at home, civil disobedience in terms of demonstrations, and civil disobedience further down the line. We might even consider the question of a general strike. So we can see the steps that need to be taken towards that end. I hope that addresses some of the issues raised.
Thank you very much, sir. Imram T, just 2 minutes if you don't mind, please. You want to come in?
Yes,
Imram
sir.
T?
Yes, sir. I want for big with people them indulgence. I want for big them patience. I want for encourage them because from waiting, I hear from the questions them. I hear say people them anxious for their results now. Well, I want for assure them say if we all work together, we could get the results we look for. Because Sierra Leone right now, as it is so, now crime scene. Salone need forensic attention for correct them problem there. It's not a new court. Not a laceration where you just clean, you stitch. This na chronic wound. Now we call pancreatic foot. It don't get septicemia. We get for take 10 for clean them. Get the dead tissues, what they call necrotic tissue. Remove them for let we facilitate granule, for let it grow. You see, what thing don't they happen now we country where people can get for realize problem we don't take 238 years. We're not gonna do them in 1 week. But for let we do them, and they see the same pattern of behavior, people and they wait for let progressive can do them for them. No, progressive now we all. Because the problem will get so, now we all cause them. You get two types of Sierra Leoneans. You get the active participants and the passive participants. All man team up, they watch, not to be business. And I want to take this opportunity for thank Mr. Alston. Now be a referee, if they work for ECSL. So now be referee. He see what in happen. You know like he resign and come out. But you get people and they will sit down, they take part, but they want results. They say sovereignty belongs to us, that's section 2 of the Constitution. And section 13 also tell we for say, we the citizens them will get responsibility. And that responsibility, they now we get for make sure say the ideals them, within the Constitution, materialize. And for do that, we need manpower, we need couple, we need brains, because we no more not get all the sense for fix the problems. We get for make osusu. Urana engineer, we need engineering expertise. Lawyer, we need your law expertise, because we need some pro bono. Lawyer them way go can help we without money, and some of them we go trust we. Because we get for carry a lot of people going to court, because Sierra Leone crime scene. We get a lot of criminal them where they try now for mask this foot. And we don't decide say we not agree. And whosoever they engage forensically, we go make the law take a course. But they none know they go free. And right now, then they out. For muzzle we must them, and for stop we. But if they're able to do that, now with the salon people they not join we. But if everybody join we go be stronger. We go try like broom. We go sweep all the dirty. All the dirty, we gather and we put on a dirty box once and for all. Enough is enough.
Thank you, sir. Actually, the other two questions, both Ambassador Lee and Chiamawadi and even Imran T don't answer, because one of the other questions, the lady when they asked how long for justice. I mean, put Ambassador Lee and Chiamawadi for answer that question. But those two, that question itself, they don't address them. Imran T don't can add pan and back. So we get one last question where I go give Mr. Jallo Jamboya. He want answer one question about the history of Sierra Leone, where I mean Webuangi Ambassador Lee, but Mr. Jallo Jamboya say he want to answer them, but I go make you only answer them for 3 minutes, and then we go wrap up with a few words, and then we'll call Madam Marie from Holland, the deputy leader of the Progressives, for do a vote of thanks, and then we'll go wrap up. So I don't know if the Jallo Jamboya there with me. Are you with us, sir?
Yeah, loud and clear, sir.
3 minutes, sir.
Fumble them on a cabo, on a kusha, on a udu. I decide for answer this question because in the last 5 years, I don't spend time, I don't spend money, I don't spend a lot for research into history. A long time ago, I realized, say, we history wouldn't tell we a wrong. If you don't know how you come out, you know they know how they go. One of the problems we Salon get, we don't know how we come out. We don't know how we fumble. We don't know how we different. What are they show now on the screen? So now the draft of a book where they go all out for publish this year. It's going to be titled The Koya Kingdom Mano River Union on the Upper Guinea Coast. Because now that's na Salon. And the reason how that country formed from them 3 areas there, again for the inside this book. As the person asked, we need for know we history. I know they can't revise a new history, not a new history are they right. But the history where they're not politicized, the history where they're not tribalized, now they put now this document, and now they appeal to Sierra Leoneans. Now we go all out for read them. I will try for make them as cheap as possible. Now they make a Kindle version. I go make a cover, hardcover, then I go make a paperback. Let we read about ourselves. Let we know how we be, what it will be. Because that way, we they begin solve them problems here. And before they go...
1 minute, sir.
Ambassador Lee make a very important point where I think say this book go try for answer. That infrastructure for governance. We need them. This one-man command in order for help we. But it go there in the book, now a recommendation, and I believe say after people that don't read this book, we go get a forum for discourse. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jallo Jamborea. Yes, in the past, we have refused to be bullied or silenced. So today, as we begin the battle for the progressives, we are going to organize. We are going to mobilize. We are going to inform and demand change. Because unity is our strength. And our past resilience is a testament to that ability to overcome whatever challenges we are going to face. My good people, I will call on Madam Marie Hassan for give a vote of thanks, and then we will wrap up. I get a question here from a Nicholas journalist from London, but the man the way they organize this thing don't give we say we're almost wrapping up. So we will organize again when we will get more questions. It's interesting how suddenly so many people, non-Sierra Leoneans and Sierra Leoneans, then get interest for ask questions. This shows that people want to know, people want to ask questions. People are fed up with what is going on in Sierra Leone, and people are very impressive with the panels that we'll get today, especially the appearance of Ambassador John Lee and, of course, Chairman Wadi. And somebody did say to MMT, thank you. So people are impressive, and so we will continue in our next forum. We will organize a longer time period where we will take more questions. So to you, Madam Maria Hassan, the Deputy Leader for the Progressives, the platform is yours, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me thank you. First of all, I just want to take this opportunity for tell we all thank you. We make it possible for let this press conference take place. Let we thank you. As we hear from Mr. Ojuku, Mina Mary H. Kamara, in Holland, and happen for be with a privilege for be the deputy leader to a wonderful chairman, when Chairman Wadi. I want to say thank you to the progressive for this opportunity as a woman. As we all notice, we country, when I don't talk about everything what people don't say about we country, which is true. And we the woman, and sometimes thank you forget we don't know what we for do. But we the progressive, they're able to give people like we this platform and opportunity for make we able express ourselves. So on behalf of the progressive, I say thank you, and the volunteers that we come inside today, especially, I think they call on TNT or TNM, I don't know, please correct me.
Yeah.
We get Common Talk, and also we get Weird. I want to say plenty thank you guys. Una they do a very tremendous job, and we appreciate for let una able put with on the public, let people able hear waiting a wonderful speakers here don't come talk to we. Una thank you. Weird, we know say this na business we don't begin, we just get for the continue. We all so as salon business they choke we all. We go for Fenway. And as the speakers, they also say, now togetherness, it is a collective responsibility. All man, they come within your own and for make we try to push this boat go before. All the grumbles about Sierra Leone, we all don't talk and we emphasize we know. But now the roadmap, just like with some speakers them say, the roadmap, now we all go come together, put heads together and say, now this way we go follow. So with that, on behalf of the progressive, all the women, they want the way take part today on this press conference. They want the way not able to come inside, but we all don't work one way or the other for make this thing happen. I want to say thank you to we all. May God bless we. Let God make what we get here for what we they talk now. We able bring come to pass and let we able execute all what we don't plan. Thank you, Chairman Wadi. Keep it up. Thank you. We appreciate you and we love you as the chairman. And we know, say we as a progressive, we all not sabi too much, but together we go able to reach some side. From the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all the participants, them, Chairman Wadi, Ambassador John Lee, Mr. Mike Butcher, and of course, Mr. Nicholas Shwedon Vex for me. All the people who they ask questions. With the other appeal, we will get another press conference in the near future. We again, Mr. Ahmed Samba, aka Alikali Maibure. We all tell all thank you. And of course, Mr. Jallo Jambara behind the scenes, and Madam Susan, we all thank you. Sierra Leone's future is in our hands. We must work together. We must embark and come together. Let us unite. Let's start the journey and let's work for a better Sierra Leone. May God continue to bless you all. Thank you very, very much. I wish you all happy Easter and happy Ramadan. And thank you to Sembe Pierre, to TNN, and everybody who take part on this press conference. Thank you very much.
Thank
and
you.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
The program we they watch now the breakfast show, and earlier tell us say we they get updates from the Sierra Leone police as then they do investigation on different drug related matter them way be happen sometime back na the country. On the line now we get ASP Bobsin Senu Kamara, where na the deputy head of media from the Salon Police. Good morning, ASP, and welcome to the Liberty Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
All right, as I don't tell we viewers and listeners then this morning, we want to get update from the Sierra Leone police as people will be aware during the last government press briefing outside the Inspector General of Police Bingo and updates people them, but the investigation where he said they don't mount on the drug fugitive from the Netherlands, where the Netherlands government they allege say it in a salon. The Salon Police will do some investigation. Start for brief for listeners they exactly who are they on these investigations.
Well, that investigations they don't go on, and since now joint investigation again for do with diplomatic related things, so it's been handled by the Minister of Foreign and International Cooperations as well. So that one is also ongoing, and what it requires the police for do as and when they need the police, we can intervene into some of those issues that warrant the police to do. No, but the bulk of the thing is being done by the foreign affairs.
ASP, anybody where you read this update this morning go say this not a new twist, I beg your pardon, because according to the Inspector General of Police, if they accept say yes, this drug fugitive, then Sabian for Umar Sheriff, and the police they lead the investigation. When exactly una hand over this investigation to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, headed by the Minister Timothy Kaba?
Well, at the investigation, not to events where it start today and end tomorrow. Now a gradual process. and it requires international corporations, and therefore, it take a time to ensure that all what we need for do and really ascertain the facts that this informations go come up with, because it's joint. When they do talk about joint investigation, we get a central, vocal presence to inform as and when the investigations don't go, and that will be done by no less the president but the Minister of Information, based on all the factors. The facts then from various factors concerning the investigation. That I will tell you for sure. Yeah.
Whose expertise the Ministry of Foreign Affairs get for investigate, for locate a drug baron where? All right, so don't lose ASP Mohammed Bobson Senu Kamara, we na the deputy head of media from the Salon Police. See the updates we on the investigation where the police be they do on just Bello, we na alleged fugitive. We didn't say they na the country. Yes, ASP, we lost you earlier. I be trying to ask, say, whose expertise the Ministry of Foreign Affairs get for lead this kind of investigation for no Usai Omar Sharif Day?
Yes, maybe this investigation, the status, how far we don't go, will be cascaded to you. But as at the top now, so the communications of which we discussed was the cocaine arrested, the man arrested. If that was the issues, I would have probing into the TOCO as well as the Foreign Affairs Ministry, where they deal with these investigations, joined by the Sierra Leone Police, to give you details of how they are. They stand as it is now. Yeah.
So regarding the same investigations, quite apart from the Dutch fugitive, the Sierra Leone Police also they investigate the issue we get for do with the former ambassador to Guinea. What stage are they now with this investigation?
It is the same thing you are dragging me into. We have so many things to do in terms of other investigations. If you would have informed me, say, from that point to this point, I would have done my bits to look at the status of that matter there. Would they take the lead? Wouldn't the lead investigators were from the police side for go and meet the head of CID, if possible, director. You understand? But my contact here was the Charles Chinedu arrested at the airport. So that was what limited me to tell you exactly what happened. Yeah.
We never discussed about Charles Chinedu.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
We called you yesterday for an overall update regarding investigation. All right, the ASP just don't cut the line, as we therefore make and clear. So when we call him yesterday, we been asked that we get an update for the public regarding all the drugs investigations where the police they do. Even this morning we've been calling for get a reminder for say we can link them up for give we update. But unfortunately we don't lose her again on the line. We go try for get them back for let we get update regarding then drugs investigations them way the Sierra Leone police they do.
The program we they watch now the breakfast show, and earlier tell us say we they get updates from the Sierra Leone police as then they do investigation on different drug related matter them way be happen sometime back na the country. On the line now we get ASP Bobson Senu Kamara, where na the deputy head of media from the Salon Police. Good morning, ASP, and welcome to the Liberty Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
All right, as I don't tell we viewers and listeners then this morning, we want to get update from the Sierra Leone Police as people can be aware during the last government press briefing outside the Inspector General of Police Bingo and updates people them, but the investigation where he said they don't mount on the drug fugitive from the Netherlands, where the Netherlands government they allege say it in a salon. The Salon Police will do some investigation. Start for brief for listeners the exactly who saw on these investigations.
Well, that investigations been undergone, and since now joint investigation again for doing diplomatic related things, so it's been handled by the Minister of Foreign and International Corporations as well. So that one is also ongoing, and what it requires the police for do as and when they need the police, we can intervene into some of those issues that warrant the police to do. No, but the bulk of